Hello, hello, hello. Good evening to my East Coast people that are watching this. Welcome back to a Girl Talk After Dark with me, your host, Inquetta, and I have my special co-host, Brittany, with me today, and we are going to talk about how to not waste your time, like red flags that will probably protect you when dating and moving forward, because it's like a lot of people playing games. Sometimes we waste our own time. Okay, I'm not even going to put it all on the guys.
Yes,
Sometimes we waste our own
definitely.
time by not paying attention to the red flags. So
Right.
today we are going to talk about Sasha. She was the woman that wrote into the shade room. She went viral because she wound up being stood up by her fiance, and they've been together for 10 years. And yes, like, so you can just imagine like how she felt, the embarrassment, the betrayal of the other guy. So we're going to talk about that today. But before we get started, I'm just going to show you a little clip just in case you guys don't know. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to turn me off. Just in case you guys didn't know about this story.
Mhm.
Let me put y'all on really quick. All right, here we go.
I still consider my fiance the love of my life. I was with him for 10 years. This was my best friend. As much as I wish to move on, show him that I could be with somebody 10 times better, I just feel like I can't really get away from him. I love him way too much. So now I'm like kind of going back and forth. One day I love him, I forgive him. The next day I'm furious. My fiance wants to make it work, and I'm just conflicted. My family already told me if I so much as meet up with him or look at him or even say his name, they're disowning me. I know my mom will not be a happy camper. My mom will lose it. I feel so torn, but do I listen to the world or do I follow my heart?
So what is Sasha doing?
Okay, so I just wanted to give a little clip of
Mhm.
that just to get us started. So Brittany, I'll kick it off to you. What do you think of this situation? Do you understand how Sasha feels being left at the altar and also, kind of want to give this guy a second chance? They worked together for 10 years, or should she just cut her losses and go about her business? As
Oh,
Tony
I think
Gabbard
it's a wrap.
said.
It's a
You said
wrap.
it's a wrap?
It's a wrap. I feel like we
Mhm.
got to the finish line and you just didn't finish the race. So at this point, you don't get a do-over when it's time for the race to happen. I feel like it would totally be a wrap. I get that he the love of her life, but you're not
Mhm.
the love of his. So
That is good. That's
yeah,
good.
it'd be a no for me under no
So,
circumstances.
okay, so a little background. So
Hmm.
she asked him why he did that, and he said he was having a panic attack.
Yeah.
So having cold feet isn't like a good enough reason.
No, it's not. No,
Okay.
not planning it for a year. You know what I'm saying? Like if
Mhm.
you're planning it for a year, eventually you will have cold feet. And my thing is, if he had panic attacks, like I watched the interview, then
Mhm.
she would say, he's always had panic attacks, even when his such and such funeral, or they've been dating since they've been 18. So if they've been
Mhm.
dating for 10 years, if it's panic attacks and he's diagnosed taking medication for that, she would have said that. You know,
Mhm.
and so he's lying. Like he doesn't have no history of panic attacks. She would have said it.
Good point. I like that you said that. And to, I guess, go with your point even more, he did mention that, well, they found out later that he was supposed to book the venue.
Yeah.
Come to find out, two
Mhm.
months before the actual
Yeah.
wedding day, he canceled or something like that. So he knew that there wasn't going to be a wedding, but he just kept that from
Right.
her the entire time. So,
Exactly. He only paid $500 deposit.
mhm.
And then I think he was supposed to pay like another $3,000, and he did not even pay it. And the people at the venue kind of knew that, and
Mhm.
the bride was like, "Why didn't y'all tell me?" But they said that initially when they were speaking with him, she told them, "Y'all dealing directly with him. I don't want nothing to do with the venue."
And that's interesting. Do you think, in a way, maybe she put it off on him for a reason? Like, do
No,
you think?
I feel like he was taking care of the venue, but she was taking care of I think she said the flowers, the decorations, the hotels. So she spent $20,000 taking care of other stuff, the food and all of that. So
Mhm.
if I'm spending $20,000 and all you spending is $5,000 on a venue, don't bother me about nothing else. Don't.
Yeah.
I'm not. You got one job to do.
Uh
One.
huh. That's
Okay.
that's the least you can do is do the
That's the
venue
least you
thing.
can do. And why am I spending this much and
Mhm.
you spending that much? That don't add up for me either.
That's a good point. I feel like she just probably wanted to give him the less just so he can agree. Like, I don't even want to upset him. Let me just give him the bare minimum so he can still come through. Because in a way, I just feel like she probably had to know a little bit, but maybe she just chose to ignore the red flags. That's the
Some
vibe I'm
people pretend well. They got a lot of Denzels out here. They got a lot of Brad
getting.
Pitts. I've met a few of them. People do pretend well. They really do. They belong in Hollywood. They pretend so good. They can act so well, and that's what he was doing. He might have a shot in Hollywood. He might need to go ahead and hit Tyler Perry up.
Oh my God. When I was looking at the Shade Room comments, they said that. They was like, this is like something straight out of a Tyler Perry movie.
Yeah, he needs to hit him up. Because, I mean, how can you act that long and then you've known that? And he's like a coward. Like, you could have said that the night before. You could have said that when we were planning it. For me personally, I think he must have met another woman or something. Because I just feel like he had. She got him guessing stuff.
Or maybe he had another woman all along, possibly.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Maybe he was fine with the whole 10 years thing.
Yeah. Just thing. I don't know if they, I don't know if they're staying together or not, but I wouldn't be surprised if they was staying together. But
so I wanted to go back to the $20K that she spent, because when I was watching that part, it made me think of what you were saying about how, like, it's no point spending a bunch of money on a wedding. Make it to the 10-year part and then go ahead and go all out. So how did you come to that mindset? Because I really actually like that. So when I heard that happen to her, I'm like, let me get Brittany's opinion on this.
I don't know why I came to that mindset. Like, even when I got married, it was like during church service. We were broke. We didn't spend money on anything. After the you know, like the altar call when you go to church. They did the altar call. No, they did our wedding. Then they did the altar call. And after that, his sister kind of, you know, got some food at her apartment, and that was it. And for me, I feel like I really wanted to be married. I feel like when you actually love that person and you want to marry that person, that wedding, it's making you wait even longer. When you actually want to be in a marriage, that stuff does not matter. The whole where we get married at and all of that. I feel like for me, I find that it may last longer when you just go to the courthouse or go to Vegas and say, let's just do it. Because at the end of the day, that's where you want to be. And I feel like that's a waste of money for me. I've never been a big wedding type of girl. I feel like you got to put that legwork in before we can spend this much money on a wedding. Let's put that legwork in. And like you said, let's not go into debt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I really like that. It actually changed my paradigm. You know what I mean? Of of a wedding. And I remember Tony said that about him and his wife. Like his grandmom said, if she really love you, she'll marry you at the courthouse. You know, and they did it. Not the courthouse. I think they had like a regular little small intimate wedding. But he found out that I think she wanted to kind of keep up with everybody else, like what her friends stuff was going on. And I feel like that is probably where it all comes from. Like you said, if you really love somebody, let's just get married.
Exactly. Like, and now they're planning their big wedding. So now they're planning their big wedding. He done bought a few rings. That's one thing. I would much rather have a nice ring and an awesome honeymoon. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't need with the flowers. It's gonna be old. We can have pets somewhere else. Everybody you pretty much just spending money on the guest food. You know what I'm saying? They're coming for. Like, I don't. If I ain't been married 10 years plus, I don't want to be wed.
You know what? And I actually do like that mindset too, because the same thing with the dress. The dress be costing thousands of dollars, and you only wear it one time. One time.
Yeah. That's it. So, that's a waste. I think that girl said she spent $2,000 on her dress. I don't know if she can take it back. She better sell it on eBay.
And I doubt she would want to like wear that dress again. Let's say she meets somebody else. I doubt she would want to wear that same dress.
Burn the whole dress.
Right. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I really felt for her. I remember she was saying like, excuse me, it was hard for her to even go back to that apartment. Oh, they did live together. That apartment that they shared. Like, she couldn't go there for a whole month because there was too many memories there. So.
I wouldn't have went there.
What about her stuff? Her
my mama, my cousin, my best friend, my brother. Y'all go get that for me. I wouldn't go there. I would step foot at that apartment. They're gonna be going to get it. You know how that Melanie and Doran in the game where Melanie said the other boy that I can get her stuff and Doran ended up getting beat up.
I don't remember that, but go ahead, finish.
Yeah, no. So Melanie sent the football player that she was with to go get her stuff. and all of that. I feel like it could be a toxic environment. She may be on 10. She might want to hit the boy. They might end up. I feel like I'm already mad on 10. I don't want to be provoked because I feel like no answer that he's going to give her is a good enough answer.
Well, let's go there because you said something that I felt like was missing from her demeanor, because she's a very sweet girl. Like her attitude was so like nice and caring and compassionate for him. So I almost felt like it wasn't surprising that she was still talking to him because she didn't have the right amount of anger. I feel like it do take it really got to hit you that you were like violated and disrespected in order for you really to move on. And I felt like in her mind, to me, she just wanted to be married, or she just wanted to be a wife that she just let go and didn't care that she was being disrespected. That's how come she wasn't angry. That's how come she was ready to like get back with him again. So she didn't really even have the right, I say, anger to actually move on to somebody else, you know?
So I feel like she didn't have it because she want to be his wife. I feel like she really have her vision. She's been with that guy. That's the only man she's ever been with. So for her saying that's her only boyfriend, I mean, that must be her only boyfriend, sexual partner, all of that. So her vision in her mind is him. At the end of the day, it don't matter how we get there, he's going to be the guy that's standing at the end of the altar. So that's why she's not mad enough, because she feel like even though he did that, I'm still going to talk to him because that's who I see. I don't want to marry nobody else. She said that's a love of her life. So she's letting him get away with that. He's saying they're going to eventually get married because that's what she wants.
Right.
He doesn't want that. So that's why she wasn't mad enough, because she feel like, hey, it could still happen.
You're right. Yes.
That's crazy. And that's what messes us up. The vision and what we think should happen. The vision that we have. You get what I'm saying? That's what really messes us up, how we think it should be.
I like that. And like you said, her vision, like it's already in her mind. That's the hardest thing to like break up with. You know what I mean? It's your dreams. And that's how come I titled this thing like Accepting Reality, because we really be in our fantasies. You know what I mean? Like you said, she just seen him and only him. And surprisingly, Dr. Phil said that. He said, if you consider going back to him, there's nothing that we can do. But just please promise me this. Please date somebody else first and then consider, because right now you don't have nothing else to compare it to. So he seems like the best option because that's all you ever knew. But get out there, have some new experiences. That way you can like really see like, oh, maybe I was settling. He's not all that like I thought he was, you know? Right. And I'm like,
awesome advice. Yeah. Good advice. I like that because me too. I don't know, like her family saying they're gonna disown her and all of that. I kind of agree with them. I do. I'll be ready to cut her off. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, did you see how her one maid of honor almost died?
Yes.
In the shenanigans? Because his shenanigans?
Yes. Yes.
Like that was a messed up part. Like his one thing just kind of like spiraled a lot of things out of control.
Yeah. People paid kids and all of that. It was too much. People had to travel and all of that. Like, I'll be highly upset. And for me, it's like, you disrespected me. If you still talking to him, you pretty much saying, F me spending my money, F me getting in the wreck, almost hurting myself. Like, I would really be ready to cut her off. I ain't gonna lie. Her mama say she can go ahead, and if she's still talking to him,
her mom did say. And then I guess, okay, it kind of helped me see me. Because, you know, sometimes you feel that way about your friends and your family. Like, don't go back to him, girl. But now that I'm watching somebody else in the family situation, the friend situation, it's almost like it's her heart. Like her heart, like you said, it's her dream, it's her vision. It's almost like telling somebody that's trying to be a rapper or something to just give it up. And that's all they know. So it's just different players. You know what I mean? This is like love, but it's still a dream. It's still a vision that she has in mind.
For her.
Right, for her. So it's almost like you just have to, I don't want to say support her, but kind of let her see for herself. Like you got to kind of like release it.
No, she saw for herself. She already saw for herself. She saw the stove was hot. She saw it was hot. And she still want to go back and touch the stove. For me, it's about, you're not loving yourself enough for me to be connected to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like the way I'm at right now in life. I don't like relationships like that. I don't like to be around women. I don't want no woman in my circle that don't love herself enough to stay away from the boo. You get what I'm saying? Like, because then you would mess up what I got going on. So I feel like I wouldn't be able to deal with her. And I feel like her mama is totally right. Would I cut her off though? I probably wouldn't. I probably threaten to cut her off. But I would never accept him. I would never accept him. And come to a wedding? Oh no.
That's true. He made it hard for his own self because people like the family gonna be side-eyeing him now. It's best that he just move on. Like,
exactly. What was he? Why he wasn't on the show?
Exactly. And Dr. Phil said that he was like, look at the people that did show up for you. Your mom, your sister, and here again, he did not show up for you. So
wow. So he had an invitation to the show because I didn't see all of that part. I probably seen the first 20.
Dr. Phil, they invited him. But he declined to come.
Exactly. Once again, it's like that's how you want the relationship to be, a person that constantly is denying you all the time. He's not there for you at all. So, and her mama right. I'm sorry. Because she just keep bumping her head. She just keep bumping it. I feel like I probably would have looked at him different if he would have came on the show, got on his knees again, really apologized publicly, because you embarrassed her publicly, even though she didn't want to talk to Shade Room about it. But I just, he's a loser. He
really is. So I'm gonna read this comment from Diane Victoria, aka Kanisha. She said, I just read the caption in Dear God, and may have been in her best interest for it not to have happened. And I agree. Yeah. Even though 10 years is a long time, she could have said I do, and it could have been like 20 years that she just found out, or 30 years that she invested. So I do agree that like least she probably got a praying mom. Like that mom do look like she's not, she is. So it could have been the prayers of her mom that was just like, this ain't gonna happen. God said no.
Right, exactly. But so, I don't know, even the relationship though, like even being together 10 years, that's too much of a waste for me.
There we go. So let's talk about that. And I really feel like I want to talk to you about this too, because you've been and you chime in as well, Kanisha, because she was. Did she tell me she was? I can't. I think she was married. Yeah, I think I got answer. But how long did it take your fiance to propose to you, or like after how much time of dating did it take for him to like pop the question to you?
I gotta count because I don't know offhand, but it was definitely less than a year. I got proposed to. We started dating in May. 6 months. 6 months.
And that's
and pop the question.
Yes. So that's what I heard. Like it don't take men long at all when they want you to be there.
Exactly. Yeah. It do not take that long. It do not. I know people that has been talking for months and they were married and they're still married. Like, because it just doesn't take that long. When that man is laser focused on you and he knows that's what he wants, he's not gonna risk another man stepping in and taking you, because he's like, you're mine, I want you. Right. You get what I'm saying? It just doesn't happen.
Right.
That's how I see it. If I really want something, I want nobody to come and take it if it's mine.
And you should have, you should want the man to have that energy about you.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you know somebody else may want me? I think this is.
Yeah.
Like, so,
yeah, because somebody can come and get her. If y'all not married, you can't say that's mine, because technically she's still single. So when she's your wife, it's a different, be able to tell her, this is mine. You get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he was just indecisive the whole relationship until he probably was like, okay, let me propose to her. And I feel like 10 years, I would have never waited 10 years. I would have never waited that long.
Yeah, because even our jobs, we get like raises and promotions within like, you know what I mean, 1 to 2 years. So it's almost like you're working in a position, literally. Like, let's say you're just working at McDonald's, like you just still the same fry cook and not upgrade or nothing. So we be ready to quit a job without no promotion, but I don't know why we don't have that same kind of energy when it comes to our heart. So,
and then she was staying with them. So it's like, what was his incentive to marry you? Like, if you're already staying with them, you let them know it's okay, you've been here this long. What incentive actually do he have to marry you?
Yeah.
I mean, none.
Right. And
he pretty much what he did to make her happy. I guess he did it to make her happy. He was getting everything else he wanted. So
yeah. I'm so upset. So how can she move on after such a betrayal, in your opinion?
I don't know. I feel like she definitely needs some counseling. I feel like she needs to cut him off because she'll never be able to move on if she's still talking to him and looking in the rearview mirror. I feel like she needs counseling. She needs to cut him off, and when she's healed, then she should start dating. I feel
Okay.
like that would be the plan to move forward.
I like that. And I agree honestly with the first point you made. It's the self-love for me,
Yeah.
because the love of self will keep those boundaries and parameters around yourself to like, okay, year 2, 3,
Yeah.
like, all right, what are we doing? You know what I mean?
Right.
Not 10. So I just really want to put that point home. Like, we got to love ourselves and understand our value. You're the good thing. Your favor is like, he gets favor because of you. So like, you don't just have to like get in where you fit in. You know what I mean? So that's always going to be my thing. So in your opinion, I know we cannot go into his mind, but why do you think that he left her at the altar? Was that his way of breaking up? Like, maybe that was his way of breaking up with her.
He's a coward. For me, he's like a yes man to a certain extent. I don't know, either it's another woman, or either way, he just does not see this woman as his wife. He just did not. He's a coward, and he didn't want to face her and say, "Hey, this is what it is." Maybe he didn't want to hurt her, but but you end up doing more damage by doing it that way. You hear what I'm saying?
Right.
But ultimately, he felt like that wasn't his wife, but he shouldn't have did it that way. Even if it was another woman, which I believe it could have been, but it's just sad that he would even do that the day of the wedding and then kept dragging it. Oh, I'm in traffic. Oh, this happened. Oh, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Like, why? You still didn't tell her. You were literally wanting her to stand at the altar at 5:00 waiting for the wedding for you still not to show up. He literally lied up until the venue people's like, look, tell her the truth, sir. It's no wedding. You canceled the venue months ago. So he still wasn't going to even tell her that.
That is kind of psychopathic.
Yes.
Talking about it out.
Yes. Something is wrong with that.
Yeah, it's very creepy.
Tell her, not even face to face, would she deserve that? It had to be drug up out of him to let her know that it wasn't going to be no wedding.
And the fact that people got hurt, like, I really feel so bad for her bridesmaid. If anybody has a reason to cut her off, it would be her, because her life was put in danger. Trying to fool around with him. And Dr. Phil said he probably was sitting right there on his couch. Had that girl trying to find him, saying he's stuck on the road, and he was probably sitting there on his couch. That's oh my God.
But I got a question for you. Okay, so you're dating a guy. How long do you wait before you be like, okay, look, I'm out? Like, you haven't asked Pop the question, I'm deuces.
Okay, I'm gonna try to think of it like as in stages. Like, I feel like I'm meeting him from month 1 to 3. It should be established, like, okay, we like each other. I see more. Let's make this official. Then maybe from month 3 to 6, we probably need to have discussions about like marriage, kind of, or do you see yourself being married? You know, it may not even be to me, but do you like want to be married? Like, we should start having those kind of talks. And then, like, after like 6 months to a year, you should know if you want to be like, you know, me too. Actually, I should be able to know if I want to be with you too. Right. So I feel like a year tops, because, like Tony was saying, like, if you're talking, getting to know a person, you'll know early on. You know what I mean? Yeah. And we got to stop rushing to play house, like, really, really quickly. I think that's what messes it up too, because like you said, he had no incentive. You know what I mean? Right. Like, oh, I already feel like we married. Like, you know, so I'm not going to do nothing else. So that's the thing too. Like, just communicate. Know that's what I learned. I need to know your upbringing. Okay. I want to know how you was raised. Was there a dad involved? Do you have like an uncle, brother, somebody that you respect? Because a lot of these men, someone said it perfectly, don't allow these men to tell you you're not a wife or wife material, and they haven't even been around like a wife. You know what I mean? Exactly. Or seen wives in their like environment. So kind of like that guy. We'll probably talk about that too. So Kanisha said she think after 18 months you'll know if you're ready. So what you think about that? The 18-month mark. So that's a year and 4 months, 6 months, a year and a half. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. And I think so too. I think for me a year, but definitely a year and a half. If it's a year and a half and you ever pop the question, then I'm pretty much deuced out.
Yeah.
I think a year and a half is more than enough time. But
nothing
not
over
only saying it, but just
it.
showing me with your actions that you take me seriously. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because these Hollywood actors, they'll tell you, you white, you wifey, have you locked in their phone as a wifey? The actions more so got to show you that, you know what I'm saying, that you wifey. You can't just say it and lock it. You can't just do that. Let me know by your actions.
You better say that. My favorite blogger, he was saying that. He was like, don't let these guys gas you up saying that you're wifey. The only thing that makes you wifey is a wedding day set. That's the only thing you go right.
They'll call you that to their family. They'll be like, "Oh, this my wife. This my wifey." Some women be like, "Ah, baby, no, you're not wifey to her until you got that ring on your finger." Okay,
there you go. That's the only way. So don't let him go by words. And it's so funny. Like, it's that male validation again. Like, you got to know that you're a wife already. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When the Bible says the man that finds a wife finds a good thing, even though she's not married, that means she's a wife in mindset. You know what I mean? You got to already know that you are a wife.
Yeah. Exactly.
You don't got to be his wife, but you a wife. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Walk like it, talk like it, think like it, and know that you a good thing. So, boy, I'm gonna upgrade your life. That's how come I ain't like that guy.
Exactly.
That guy. So I ain't like him. Like, what do a woman bring to the table? So do you want to switch gears and talk about that in the last 15 minutes?
I mean that's pretty much fine. I mean, I
have a few more questions about this, but if you want, we can switch gears so we cover everything.
Hey, whatever you want.
Okay. Well, I'll end it up in one last thing because I like talking about this too, and then we'll switch. It's close.
I have a top on.
It's a cute top too. All right, next year.
Not naked, okay.
Yes. So closure. Remember that she said she was
talking about it up.
Say it again.
I'm happy you brought that up.
Okay. So is closure a real thing? Because she wanted to reach out to him to find out why it happened. So is closure real? Was she justified in asking him why he did it? And
I like Trent Shelton. He's an awesome motivational speaker. I love him. And like he said, the only closure that you need is to know that you deserve better. That's the only closure that you need. Like, I've never asked any of my exes for closure. Like, I can't think of me just saying, "Oh my gosh, I need closure." Because closure, all they're gonna do is probably lie. They're not gonna tell you the truth. I've said that in one of my YouTube videos. They're not gonna sit there and say, "Oh," they're not gonna give you that gut-wrenching truth because they're not man enough to tell you or woman enough to tell you what it was. And it just defeats the purpose. Just move on. You can't keep holding on waiting for closure, because I feel like with closure, they're holding you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, they don't want closure, so they'll be there waiting for me because they need this closure. So they're going to be waiting. So you don't need to wait for them to close the door. You close the door yourself and you move on.
Yeah. Yeah. And I hope she gets to that point. Well, I'm pretty sure now we might have to visit this part 2 because I'm going to read the book because I feel like it'll be a good read. And I'll probably
feel like it's necessary though. Do you feel like she need closure? Do you feel like once she get that closure, she really gonna be like, okay, cool, I get it now?
Probably not, because like you said, I mean, she got that fantasy in her mind. So again, she don't really feel like it was a violation. Like you said, she just feel like it's another thing, a hurdle that they have to overcome. But she's still getting to that altar. Like, that's the finish line for her.
Yeah.
So I do think she do deserve to know why, because they have been together for 10 years. That is a long time.
For me, no answer could be a good enough answer. I mean, what are you gonna say? You clip your toenails and you leave your clippings all over. You brush your hair and you leave hair in the sink because you've been with her for 10 years. So it cannot be surface level stuff. Like, what really? You was with her for 10 years. She must not be that much of a problem. I just felt like he does not see that woman as his wife, because she can't be this worse of a person. You want to spend 10 years of your life with somebody like that? It's more so him. It's him and not her.
Yeah. Okay, good point. All right. So Kanisha said they'll tell everyone else the problems you're having except you.
Yeah.
Closure only comes in hairstyles, child. That ain't right.
It's okay. That's hot. I like that one.
I do too.
And
Closure
that's
is around your head.
Don't tell everybody the problem. Right. That's I like how she said that. If you want to know the issue, go talk to his friend.
Mm,
Go
yeah.
talk to his friend. His friend know the problem. Or his
And then
mom.
and if that's the case, then you don't have a relationship because
Yeah.
I'm the person that can change it. Why are you talking to everybody else? You know
I
what I
like
mean? You're already violating the trust.
exactly.
How am I going to fix something I don't know I'm doing wrong?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
she dodged the bullet.
She really did, baby. I feel bad for her though. I do, but I mean that's 10 years she wasted. I mean they did date young though, but it was just too much.
Yes.
She wasted her own
So,
time too, like you said.
well, like you said, remember you said he just didn't see her. He just didn't see her as his wife. And I want to switch gears because there's some men out there that don't really see the value of having a wife.
Yeah.
Like the person, that guy that you sent me in the video. So
Yeah.
what were your thoughts on his, or you can set it up. You can let us know like how you came across that video, like your thoughts on it, and just give a little background on it, on that
Okay,
video.
so I was just strolling down social media. I don't remember the guy's name. It was on, I think, the neighborhood talk. And they were having a discussion, a few guys, a few girls, and the man was like, he don't see the point of having a wife. Like when you're married, it only benefits the woman, it does not benefit the man. And the woman was pretty much saying how that toilet paper that gets empty, we fill that toilet paper up. Them groceries, we go make the groceries. That food on the table, we cook it. And the man was pretty much telling her, okay, what about stuff that we can't do for ourselves? Like we can do that. We can refill the toilet paper. We can go get our own groceries. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really listen to the whole conversation because I didn't like how it was going. And I feel like she did not represent us good enough. Like my role as a wife should not be refilling the toilet paper that you just emptied out. Like, are you serious? Like, I feel like that's not my role to be washing your clothes. I mean, for me, it's a team effort. You know what I'm saying? For me, like, I feel like if you have that mentality where you feel like, why get married? It's not going to benefit me, then you shouldn't get married. I feel like marriage is not for everybody. Everybody don't need to be married. Some people want to be alone and they're happy being alone. So if you have that mentality, just don't get married. But if you want to get married, you need to know that it's not about more. It's not also what you bring into the table. It's about having a teammate. It's like going out on a football field and you got one player. You need more players to make that team win. And I feel like if we go into marriage and think of it like that, rather than, okay, do you cook? Do you clean? Do you have much money? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if you say, okay, I can work with this, and then we can come together and create a better team, because everybody wants and needs are going to be different. So just find that teammate that you feel like, okay, they have everything I want for my team. And that's what it's about to me.
I like that. And I agree. It's almost like, see, I would have to ask him, like, were your parents married? Did you see any other marriages? Because for him to say that, it almost makes me think that he didn't. You know what I mean? Like, he should be able to know the value of a wife. And the fact that he doesn't feel, he probably seen a lot of these situations where women, you don't got to be married to them. You still get everything. In a way, I understand why he's saying that, because I feel like he kind of lowered the bar for men because they can't get everything without being married. So I understand him, but at the same time, it's just like, what were you expecting? Like, what is she supposed to say? What are you supposed to say?
Exactly. And that's my thing. Don't worry about the value of a wife. Worry about the value of your wife.
Yeah, right.
Don't worry about the value what a wife brings. What do you need your wife to bring to the table? And that's what you need to focus on. You don't need to worry about, because everybody wants and needs are going to be totally different. They have some men that feel like cooking and cleaning is everything for them, and their wife have to cook and clean. And some women would do that, and some women are like, no, I'm not. So instead of him worrying about everybody's wife, he need to worry about what his wife need and go find that.
Right. Or like you said, everybody doesn't want to be married. Do you even want a wife? Maybe he want to have a roommate. Maybe he don't. You know,
that's how some people. I mean, some days I have my days where I feel like, if I don't get married, I can do it all by myself. Like, what I need somebody else to come here for? I mean, sometimes you have that days, and marriage is not for everybody. I done been married before.
But the thing with him was he sounded like very like defensive. Like you see how he just said that nice and yeah, it was very calm, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
he was coming off very aggressive, like
he was.
Okay, well,
he was like, prove to me, convince me.
Right.
Like, you don't need to be convinced. You don't need a wife, baby. It's not like you want to be single. We shouldn't have to convince you as women why you need a wife. If you feel like you don't need a wife, then baby, you don't need a wife.
Right.
And that's what it is.
Because then the reverse will be true. Because imagine a woman saying that, I don't need no man, I don't need no husband. Now she male bashing. Now she hate men. You know what I mean? But that's the same energy he was giving me. It's just like, okay, well, guess you don't need nobody.
And I mean, it's nothing wrong with him feeling like he don't need a wife and all of that. That's good. But don't be sitting here telling me I got to convince you why you need a wife.
Right.
If you don't want a wife, baby, you just don't want a wife. And that's what
exactly. Because inherently, I believe that every man has inside of them, like, to identify their wife. You know what I mean? It's kind of like an intangible knowing inside of you. So I don't know. I just feel like you're made up that way. So you just feel like you have a reason or you don't know why, then it ain't for you. I don't know.
And let me say something else. You say, and then don't have the energy about why you need to convince it to me, and you don't need no wife, but then you want to be having sexual relations. That's number uno why you need a wife, okay? Because you go from this one and that one and that one and that one, and then you're both gonna get sick with something, okay?
Yeah, but I guess he probably like, well, I don't need to get married for that, and he really don't.
Maybe he's not a Christian too, like. I mean, they could come out. Maybe we need to change religions, because I think people don't get it. I feel like some people think just because they were raised as Christians mean they have to stay that way. If you don't believe what the Bible says, then you don't need to be a Christian. It's so many other religions that you can actually go by.
That fits,
Yeah,
that's what you want.
Yeah,
but yeah, but then again, I don't want. Marriage isn't just like a Christian thing either. You know what I mean? Like in other religions, they believe in marriage. He probably just need to be I don't know, whatever religion.
A Jehovah's Witness or something, or a priest.
Yeah, something that believes in polygamy.
Or maybe he want a husband. Maybe he want a husband. Maybe he don't want a wife.
That's the vibe I was getting, because his dangly earring.
Yeah,
it was very distracting.
I wouldn't date a guy with no dangly earrings. I'm just saying.
I wouldn't either.
He might just want a husband.
Right. A roommate. Maybe that's what you want. A partner. So
he probably do. Because it should be hard for us. We got to convince you why you want a wife.
Exactly. So I'm gonna read these few comments on Instagram. Can you see that convenience? They'll stay until they can't take it anymore, then leave you after you stay through so much. LOL. Whew, the nerve. So that was probably from our Dr. Phil conversation.
Yeah.
And Purple Passion 0616 says, so many people lasted in a relationship, got married and divorced in 4 years tops. That's interesting to me too. Yeah. Where people they date fine, but then when they get in marriages and stuff, it ends. I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet, but
me either. I don't know. Maybe it's the stress. Maybe they have an panic attack. Finally they marry. I don't get that part either.
But you know what? I feel like it's kind of like the Destiny situation with Huntsville, Love and Marriage Huntsville. A lot of the times, I feel like in the Bible say like about long suffering, and that doesn't mean like you suffer long. You know what I mean? It just means like sticking with it even in tough times. Yeah. And like I said, I don't know everything. Well, clearly, I don't know what everything Destiny endured, but I do feel like our generation maybe kind of throws in the towel kind of easily, like quicker than the old time folks.
That's true. That's true. So many options. I feel like we definitely throw in a towel quicker because there's so many options out there. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't about to play with you, baby. I got 15 other options in my inbox. Okay.
And like,
try them out.
That's okay. But after you say I do, them options should no longer exist. You know what I mean?
It shouldn't.
You gotta kind of just stick with this, like, let's work it out, because you actually said vows before God, like, you said all that, so
They
I
don't
feel
take
like,
that serious either. Anytime you can get out of it like that, they don't care. All you gotta do is go to the courthouse and just file for a divorce. I think they should add more They should add more stipulations on when it's time to get a divorce.
mm-hmm.
I think that make
Especially,
it more harder for people to get out of.
yeah, especially if it's just like a part of. I learned that marriage is like dying to yourself. It's basically the expression of Christ, going to the cross for us.
Mhm.
So it's no more you, it's us. Like the
Yeah,
two should become one.
yeah.
So you know what I mean? I remember, I don't know if you know who Bill Winston is. He's a pastor, but he was saying, like, when he first got married to his wife, that, like, he was upset because she didn't cook like how his mom cooked, and he was like, I had to learn, this ain't my mama. You know what I mean? The
Right,
Bible says leave your parents to be one with your wife. So I
right.
think some of that stuff we just don't have that stick through itness. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Hey, thinking like a virtuous woman. Good evening.
Yeah, I mean that's true. I think they should also have a age stipulation. I got married at 19. I feel like they should have an age limitation too. I feel like you
Oh,
should be so
but
young.
well, back in the day, people got married at that age. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and it was fine. I really think we live in an interesting generation. Like, I don't think our parents get it. Like,
Mhm.
they always think like, oh, you should be married by now. Dating ain't like how it was when y'all was coming up.
Yes, it's
Okay,
it's totally different. And then
very different.
even with my grandparents, I mean, people get married, they're young, but are they truly happy? Are you really happy, or did you
Mhm,
just settle? You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? That's why I feel like they did have age stipulations, because if you want to get married, I mean, I feel like it needs to be a stipulation. You should be able to go all live your life and all of that good stuff for you. Not more so for women, because I feel like women always have that wife thing in us where
mhm.
we're ready to bear kids at 12 and 13 and be a mother. I feel like the age stipulation should be more in place for men.
Yeah, that's true. That's how come sometimes I do feel like we can date up. You know what I mean? Women can date older men, and it'd be just because they probably at the age finally of maturity, kind of.
Yeah.
Man, we was never
I
yet.
that. Definitely date older. I've never dated younger. I've
Mhm.
always dated older.
So if 19 isn't a good age, what is a good age? And I'm gonna
For
try to
marriage,
for marriage. Yes.
I don't know. For a woman, I feel like a woman, I was ready for marriage at 19. I didn't miss nothing. I didn't feel like I missed out on anything. But I feel like if I had to say the perfect for my daughter, it'd probably be 24, 25 for her. But I mean, just to throw a number out there, I'm 21 or older. I mean, if you can't drink at 19, why are you getting married? Like, you can't even go gamble. You can't even
Right.
gamble, so why you get married? So I say 21 or older. Then for a man, I probably say 25 older for a man.
Yeah.
If I had to pick a perfect age.
I like that. We need to run for office and change some of these laws.
Go for me.
Right? Because back then it worked back then, but times have changed. Like, times
Yeah,
really have changed.
yeah,
So yes, many of them settled back then, especially when women couldn't work. Oh, that's a good point too.
yeah.
Yeah, like you
Put
said,
up
we
with a
need more
lot.
options.
They
Say
put
it
up with
again.
a lot. Put up with a
Yeah.
lot. The abuse,
Hmm.
physically, it was bad. Couldn't vote. It was. I'm happy I wasn't a woman in that time.
Right. And see, that is where the options come in as well, because as women, we have like options for our own self. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? We can work, we can do this, we can sell eyelashes, hair. We
yeah.
like come on now.
Be
So
vice president.
there we go. Like we have options. So Kanisha said, my last situation messed it up for all men, all except for the one I'm praying for God has a perfect mate. But until he finds me, a man can forget about it. Right? Wait till the man finds you, sis.
Like I
So
tell, like I tell my daughters, them men ain't going nowhere. I got exes from 5 years ago, still want a chance. It's just like, look, they ain't going nowhere.
mhm. I agree. I
Take
believe
all the
you.
time you need. All the time you need.
And she said 25 too for the age. Yeah.
Mhm.
If you weren't committed to me in our relationship, I sure as hell am not marrying you. People that do that deserve
Yeah,
everything they get. Not sorry.
that's true. No, that's true. If we're in a relationship and you cheat on me, yeah, kind of no coming back from that. We ain't even we on a sprint. We ain't even in a marathon yet. And you already looking this way and that way. Yeah, you definitely don't want to get married to a person that's already cheating in the sprint.
I like that. That is well. We can end it with that. Don't get married to the this in a practice they already messing up.
Exactly.
So cut your losses, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Thank you all for joining us again on this Girls Talk After Dark. This is like our new weekly, hopefully weekly, if I could get Brittany up here again, our little weekly girl chat check-in talk. So again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for joining us, and we will talk to you again next week. And don't forget to be on the lookout for when we come back again talking about love and marriage Huntsville later on this week.
Yes, like this video.
Oh yeah, like and subscribe.
Yes.
Bye, guys.